keep your form. Now, I definitely want to put this into kind of the tactical box. I see a lot of skiers go off and try and get up to straight away the speed that they need to be at, and quite often they'll go above that speed and then they'll lose their form. This is especially important, I think, when you're maybe the first few days of the season, if you're trying to work on something specific. And what I'll often do is start at about 50% of the speed on fairly easy terrain, start about 50%, and then on the next turn, maybe build up to 55, and then slowly build up to 60, 65. So you're just trying to drip feed, I suppose, the performance and how fast you're going, but keep the form. Try and build up into the run. So many skiers try and hit their optimum speed straight away and then become a runaway train. And the first thing that starts to happen is they lose form. And then these two things compound each other, and the result will be bad kind of forced handbrake turns, trying to stamp on the brakes, and then everything goes out the window. Get a feel for the snow and think about your position and slowly build up to the pace you want to be skiing at without compromising good form. Ultimately, when you're up to pace, you want to be really hovering around 80–90%. Heighten your awareness of when you start to get more ragged. When you have that sensation, calm things down and try and get back in form. So by doing this, it's a really good way to try and hone something you're working on and make it stick. This is so important if you're trying to work on something in your skiing. Make sure you can feel the sensation or the movement you're trying to work on at slower speeds and begin to make it second nature. Most people have no idea how much time the best skiers on the planet have spent on relatively easy slopes at slower speeds, making sure everything they're doing is really ingrained. And as I said, this is something really useful the first few times you're going to maybe ski for the season. Start off easy, slowly build up how fast you're going and how well you're skiing. Not only the first few days, but the first few runs of the day. If you can spend the time to really encourage good form in the first few runs, you'll have much more chance of keeping it going through the day. I'm always saying a good first hour is the best way to set up for a good day. The other thing to bear in mind when it comes to form is quite often when someone's tired, they actually start to drop their hands, ski worse, let the body rotate, all these little sort of classic habits, but it's actually more tiring. So even if you are skiing, let's say, quite chilled out, don't sacrifice form. Don't start dropping the hands and twisting the body and getting lazy. Keep a good position. It will actually be less work, but don't sacrifice form. When fatigue starts creeping in, try and be hyper aware of not losing form. This will be like throwing fuel on the fire. You need to be even more aware of how you're positioned and how well you're balanced on the skis. Skiing tired and ragged is not something that will help you progress. It's not always just physical, it could be mental, but if things are getting worse, just have a break. When it comes to quality over quantity, always go for quality. Also, try not to finish the day on a bad run. That's the last thing your body will remember, and those sensations can be carried on over into the following day. It's a classic thing as well. You're skiing a blue run and you think, I can get away with this, and you start to get lazy and enhance bad habits. As soon as you get on something steeper, you wake up and you think, do you know what? I need to get more on form. It's not the right way of looking at it. If I'm skiing down a blue run, I'm trying to ski the best I possibly can. Like that, you're training your body to go into that good position when the going gets a little bit more difficult. You're really going to reap what you sow. If you practice bad form when it's easy, you can't expect your body to do the right thing when it's tougher. Slap yourself on the wrist and try and ski the best you can on easy slopes. So keep your form, work on that, it will improve your skiing.